Thank you for this lovely space, not only for these days, but for the future days, because this space will influence our future life forever. Thank you so much. I work with palliative care, and I have had a question for a long time in me. When my brother, who suffered for 8 years of a brain tumor and was in his last minutes of life, I didn't know if he was listening to me or not. I've heard that, the last thing we lose is our hearing. So I was talking to him, and I just told him to follow like my guidance of the body scan. I realized he was suffering a lot and his breath was too short, and so I just said, if you're listening to me, just let's breathe together. And I began doing the body scan. I began from the feet up, and when I came up to his heart, he was in anguish when we began, but little by little he became more peaceful. And when I came up to his heart, he passed away in complete peace. Wow. I was so astonished and surprised. I really wanted him to rest because he had been suffering a lot. And I just was in awe. I was completely surprised of the power of this technique and how he was able to little by little be in peace and rest in complete peace. And I have had that experience more than once, not in the same moment I'm doing the body scan, but maybe someone who is very anxious and in the last minutes, I begin doing the body scan, and maybe 1 hour or two later, the person rests in complete peace. And I want to understand a little bit of what really happens in this body scan that is so powerful and can do this.
It may not be in the body scan, it may be in you or in your relationship to what you're calling the body scan. But whatever it is, a lot of it is the power of mindfulness, or you could say heartfulness, because as I've been emphasizing, the two words are the same in all Asian languages. And it's really important to understand the heartful component of mindfulness. And when you are guiding a body scan with the kind of energy that you bring to it, whether it's intentional or whether it's just the love and the care that you're bringing to this other person that you're with, whether it's your brother dying or somebody else who's in a lot of pain, you're in some sense inviting a spaciousness and a peacefulness that goes beyond the pain in the body, for instance, or even the pain in the mind. So it's not like you're trying to get rid of the pain in the body or the pain in the mind that, sometimes just from our thoughts or emotions or whatever. But when you create a wide enough space for it to all be present, then you've probably had this experience, and many other people have as well, you can actually be in a huge amount of pain in the body and at the same time not have it be a problem, because you're, in some sense, the awareness is so much bigger than the sensation that you're able to hold it without having to go into battle around it. And then even in intense pain, there's a certain kind of peacefulness. But nobody understands to answer your question in a different way, nobody understands what's really going on in the body scan. This will take an enormous amount of technology to be able to monitor people while we're going through something as complex as a body scan, including what's going on in the brain, what's going on elsewhere in the body at a molecular level, in all sorts of different ways. And maybe we don't even need to understand it. Maybe your presence and the caring that you bring to palliative care and to the work that you're doing lets people feel secure enough to actually just relax into whatever their experience is, whatever it is, pleasant, unpleasant, or neutral, whether they're fully conscious or even semi-conscious or even comatose. Your presence there influences them in ways, and as you say, since the hearing may be the last thing to go, you can trust that they may be hearing you, and not just the sounds, but the whatever it is that you're really delivering to them, that they're feeling that, and that is helping them in one way or another to take refuge. Another theme that we've been emphasizing for the past 8 weeks, to actually be at home, even in the midst of the unwanted and the terrible. And I bow to you for doing that kind of work, because when we're all on the way out, on the sort of glide path into dying, none of us want to be alone. We want kindness and caring. The irony is at this moment, we're not allowed to be with the people who are dying because of the pandemic, because of the virus. So even under those conditions, it's very, very difficult. And I don't even know how you're doing this work at this moment unless you're doing it remotely. But just a deep bow to you for your caring and for your question, which there's no really good answer for.
Thank you. Thank you so much. I had always had this question because it has happened to me not only once.
Yeah, multiple
And
times.
yes, I have even done it remotely, Once the mother of a patient called me. It was a Sunday. I was at home, and I didn't have time to go and be present with her daughter, and she was used to do the body scan with me because she had taken many sessions with me. So she just put her on the phone.
Great. Yeah, sure.
She just put her on her phone, and she was telling me, the mother was telling me, yes, she's becoming calmer. She's bringing some peace to herself. And like an hour or two later, she passed away in peace. So I wanted to listen to you on this, because it was something that I thought in me, is this casual, or am I imagining this, or what is it? Or is it so powerful that it allows people to pass away in peace, which is something I think we all want to.
Yeah. Well, I think, again, to repeat what I said, I think part of it is you, and part of it is that particular practice when it's invited in a really kind and present and non-goal oriented fashion, people feel met, seen, heard, felt, even in very difficult moments. So thank you for raising your hand and voicing your experience, because I think it reminds all of us on this, like the thousands of people who are on either Zoom or YouTube at this moment, and thousands more who will watch it in the future, that there's a lot we don't know. But that doesn't mean that we can't have profound effects, even though we don't know why we're having such profound effects. So thank you, Lucia.
Thanks to you.
And
Thank you
good
so
luck
much.
and be well.
Thank you.